Today I'm filming a video on my new favorite micro RC plane. It happens to be a umx. It's equipped with AS3X and it has a 2S brushless motor. This exact one I have is one of a few I have now. I have total 4 currently, but I plan on keeping 3. But this one is my beater one actually. I purchased this one for roughly $30 and the wing was pretty much totaled. But I glued it back together. I'll take some pictures and did some touch-up paint. Got it looking alright, especially for camera. It looks a lot better on camera obviously, but compared to what it was, this was sold as a parts plane. But I realized the fuselage was near perfect, so I repaired the wing and left it in a way where I could replace the wing if I do run into a brand new wing replacement. They're hard to find, but it flies great as it is. It's only about 4 grams overweight from the factory. So right now it currently weighs about 62 to 64 grams without a battery. And I like to fly. I currently have these are super cheap. Do not fly with the cheaper batteries with lower mAh. They do not have enough output for these type of planes. I have high quality Spectrum ones on the way that are apparently rated for 50C, which is much better for this type of plane. But these batteries, I picked up 4 for 10 bucks and they do all right. I've been testing them after I fly and everything. I get 4 to 5 minutes of flight depending how crazy you are. So with these older models, they're extremely nice in my opinion, and you can do little upgrades as well. Right now this one has the yak prop, which is an upgrade that people do, and it has the 2500 kV motor, which is an alright combo, but I have the 3000 kV motor on the way, and I plan on running the same prop, which is the most pretty much thrust and high speed setup for 2S. For the 2S birds, they can fly really good with that setup. So I have the 3000 kV on the way, and the only difference between stock and this one is it's a little bit heavier because of repairs, and then it has the bigger prop. The stock prop is 5 inches and this one's 5.75, and this is the yak prop. No modifications needed to be done to add it. I run the battery all the way underneath the wing support. Let me show you. I got this recommendation from a fellow hobbyist as well. So this plane flies extremely well. You can fly it like a World War I biplane or an absolute madman, way better than what I can do currently. But I'm hoping I can do some knife edges and maybe a little bit of hovering. So, really old micro. At one point, a person sold it as a totaled plane thinking it'd never fly again. And now it only weighs 4 grams more than stock. So let me show you where I put the battery in one moment, and then I'll get the camera on my head and get flying. I might run 2 batteries on this video because 1, this is a super sweet plane, and 2, the batteries don't last very long. So there's not enough content of this one on YouTube. So let me go ahead and run those batteries in, or put the battery in and show you where it is. So here's the battery. It's just wedged underneath there, even though it has Velcro on both sides. The stock Velcro and the Velcro I put on doesn't match, so it doesn't stick. So it's just a wedge fit in between the top of the canopy and there. And put the battery as far back as I can and then pull it back a little bit just to make sure it stays there and doesn't fall back into the board. And with a wedge fit, this thing's not pulling enough G's to slide that thing out, so you're good to go. I'm gonna get the camera on my head and get the flying. This is a very sweet ultra micro. They don't make them like how they used to. That's what some people say. Okay, ready to go. I have a 5-minute timer for this guy for the 300 mAh batteries. And you can see this plane is gonna fly, like I said, it flies. You can either fly it like a normal World War I plane or a very intense micro. This is a Pitts Model 12, I believe, extremely modified in real life. There's a few different Pitts from the umx line, but these Pitts have been highly modified for 3D flight. This and the P3 Yak, no, sorry, the P3 Revolution are both of the Yak family, and as well as, or I keep butchering that, they're all part of the Pitts biplane family. So this is one of the first 2S models they've added with AS3X, and I think they did absolute gold. There's about 7 to 10 mile per hour breeze right now. It's a little windier here at the field compared to my house, but there's way more space here, so even with some wind it's easier to fly. I just want to do some close, slow flying in case you don't want to fly this super crazy. If you get it, that's I was trying to do that on purpose, but I stalled it last second or went into the ground. I was trying to do a one wheel touch and go. This is my beater one though, so that's why I have a beater. So you see, all good to go. It's not a strong plane at all, so don't stall it into the ground too often. It's skidding along with that wind, sadly. Let me bring it around. See, it's very stable and inverted. Does not lose. This is no stick right now. And then now that's stick. That whole pass was no stick. So let me try it again. With the wind, it's kind of not so perfectly trimmed anymore. That's no stick the entire time, and then this is stick. So with the stronger motor I have on the way, I should be able to hover and do things like that better, especially with some wind. Wind really affects the 3D capabilities of this one. Let me see if I can get it into a hover. Kinda. It's getting carried along with the wind direction. Really easy to fly this model. If you're worried about flying it in the low speed turns, you really just got to use your ailerons and not your rudder, because your rudder will stall you way quicker. Rudder is good at making you go down a little bit. Windier than I'd like. They don't make them like how they used to. I'm trying to just hover it in the wind, kinda. Not fully stall it, but... Oh, gotta fly out of that. Crazy roll, right? too windy to really show its potential, sadly.
Timer 1 elapsed.
Coming for landing now.
RF signal critical.
Look at how soft that landing is, even with the wind. So with the bigger battery I have on there, I can't fly it too long still, or I mean with the bigger prop. But that's my little bit heavy and damaged beast for you. I went ahead and installed, I'll go ahead and fly this one more time after one flight of my F-22 to let it cool down.
Telemetry lost.
So I've installed some 3-bladed props recommended from the forums on
Switch warning.
my RC F-22. I've, however, got dust in one of the bearings and need to lubricate it when I get home and re-tighten my motor because one of the screws came out on here, if you can see. Okay, so I'm running stock battery location. With the 3-bladed propellers, I notice it tracks really straight, even without power. It's tracking much straighter. It must just be that extra drag one way or another. So this is a quick flight of this plane while we wait for the beast to cool down. Well, it'd be easier if it wasn't so windy. These are really strong props, and it just slid off, so let me slide that back. The 3 blades definitely give it a little bit more punch, but mostly more stability, I notice. Even in the wind, the 3 blades just have so much more air it's grabbing to track straighter. The sound is pretty interesting. It has a bit more whoosh to it, if that makes sense, when you're making passes. Whoo! Not even close. I hope I cut that well. Just highly maneuverable and capable jet. I really just can't recommend it enough. And then the fact that if your servos go bad, you could just upgrade to metal gear servos, plug and play, and then you start to have, in my opinion, a really hobby grade 3D plane, and it looks pretty scale. A lot of planes this size that can perform these maneuvers are simple 2D ones, maybe not even painted, but this one is a full-on F-22 replica. I've checked out if making a 2D flat foam board one would be any lighter, and it actually wouldn't be. So there's not really much bad things to say about this jet. My thrust line was a little off from the factory. But I mean, I can't even do this with the Beast. It's time to land though, so I can't do that with the Beast. I mean, that is pretty good precision for a micro that doesn't have E-Flight's name on it. That is extremely good. I cannot recommend that enough. Let's see my battery. I might have ran it too long. Apparently my battery is good. It says 74%, but I don't trust that. It can be deceptive when you're running it hard. So I'm gonna go one more battery in the Beast, my beater. And as I say that, the wind's kicking up. Classic.
Telemetry connected.
I have a umxs turbo timber evolution that I was flying earlier too, and I absolutely love it. I think it's the perfect upgrade if you want your first umx and you've been flying a bunch of Voluntex ones, especially the brushless one, because a major factor is both the batteries that the Evolution would like to use is what batteries you're already using in your 500 mAh Warbirds. So no extra batteries, you just buy it, you bind it to your TX16, and you have an amazing Cub. I want to fly it. Maybe I will really quick just to show you guys how incredible it is for the next plane to buy. Because somebody asked me that, what's the next step? I think that one's the next step, especially with the whole battery situation. Only thing is my rudder guide rod needs to be glued again. So let's go ahead and get in the air. I'm gonna reset my timer.
Maximum trim reached.
Yeah, it's hard to trim it out perfectly with this wind. But it's still an awesome biplane. It's more fragile than the Pitts. It's much more capable than the Pitts though. Pitts pretty good. But this is pretty nuts too. I'm gonna try some maneuvers, nothing too crazy. Just some dirty rolls. Try to do a front flip, but a pretty clean one. Let's see. It's gonna be great once I get that bigger motor in. It's a little hard to do front flips. Just incredible plane. Such a wide flight envelope. I don't have the confidence to hover this like the F-22. Still have the confidence to do that though. That roll rate's really nice. This one is, I checked out the manual. They have a maximum recommended roll rate on the aileron servo and I set it to that. So on my beater, it's a little bit quicker roll rate than my other good one, but I was just testing it out. I'm probably gonna add it to all my beasts that I fly. The wind died down a little bit. That means it was time for a touch and go.
RF signal critical.
Really good roll rate. Let's see if I can knife edge it. Nice knife edge, not hard to do at all. Could use some more power in it. And some less wind, of course.
Maximum trim reached. Maximum trim reached.
Might be time to land. The bug's decided that I'm his favorite thing to mess with right now. I don't like focusing with a bug flying next to my ear.
RF signal low.
Okay. I'll get one battery with the timber. The only thing is, because my rudder guide rod is loose, I'm gonna just not really use the rudder, especially if I can help it in any high G maneuvers, because if you could see in the back, the way the guide rods are installed is with heat shrink and glue, and basically my old one has just been broken loose, so it's kind of just friction fitted, so it could slide way out of place and get locked in there. But I don't think we'll run into any problems, especially if I'm trying to keep it safely. And hell, since I'm doing this as well, I'll show you how I move it in my car without beating it up, because this was a mission in the beginning. This is how I do it. I use a towel to chalk the wheels, and the drive's not that far, and it won't slide around. Otherwise, this thing will slide around, and you'll quickly realize the wing is so large that you cannot tuck it in a lot of normal spaces, unless you have a huge truck or something, maybe. So this is just real quick. It came into a long video. It is what it is. It's been a long time since I haven't been able to fly, so I'm running it just on the Volantex batteries that you fly with the 500mm warbirds. This is just a 2S flight for nice scale flying. I haven't got my CG dialed down yet, so probably gonna trim out my elevator. Let me get this on the ground. You can see my rudder's not straight already. There we go. Oh man, it's just friction fitted. Really shouldn't be flying it, and I should glue that, but I'm out here on the field and I'll try to just ignore using the rudder, especially on the ground. That's a big one because of the drag of the tire. Okay, so let's go ahead and get it up, and I'll show you exactly why I think this is the one to upgrade from if you haven't got your umxs yet, because you really should. So check out the flaps on my TX16. I have it set to have a little bit of down elevator and move up and down slowly in coordination. So I was avoiding using the rudder, so that's why I took off like that.
RF signal low. Trim center. RF signal critical.
My elevator could be loose as well, because I've been struggling to trim it correctly. I'm not exactly that worried with the type of flying I plan on doing right now, because this isn't, I don't plan on trying to rip the wing off, especially on 2S. I plan on flying on 2S pretty long until I want to learn how to hover a lot on this one, because this model can hover too. But it's nice and quiet. Let's see if I can come in for a touch and go.
RF signal critical.
That's annoying. I could turn that off, but just do a calm touch and go. Look at how floaty it is. This is no flaps currently. I'm just showing you how it turns with no flaps. Like it's very peaceful. If you know how to fly a plane, you just fly it into the ground, like not into the ground, but fly it while you land it. Don't turn off the throttle and expect a perfect landing, but actually fly it into the runway, get your two main wheels planted with no flaps, because it lands bad with flaps, and it goes. Just don't stall it, let the main wheels plant. And it would help if I used the rudder, but you know. Very capable. Let me try with flaps now. I've been messing with my settings to get it right, because you have to set the right amount of down elevator, and it's a little confusing. So this is takeoff flaps right now. I just want to make sure the plane's nice and stable before I start to do maneuvers. About 40% power right now. Let me get some altitude and go to landing flaps, which is max flaps in case you don't know. And now with the wind, you can really just slow down pretty good. You just don't want to use this for landing, not when your wheels touch the floor. So let's get it into the wind and try to fly it pretty slow. It's pretty slow plane if you want it to be. I'll try to do a touch and go with the flaps.
signal critical.
Has a long flight time. With the 400 mAh battery, you could probably fly it the way I'm flying it for like 10 minutes.
RF signal critical.
God, that's annoying to fly. Okay, I come in for a landing. The fly is messing with me too much, and there are issues with the guide rods, so
RF signal critical.
if I can, I like to keep my planes in one piece. So this is no power, just gliding down. Gonna add power to turn around. Very capable. It's got flaps, steerable tail wheel, 3S capability, can hover, can fly slow, can fly fast, can fly inverted, can do a lot of things, can take off from grass. I mean, there's a reason why so many people love this model. It's got a plenty stiff wing because it's upgraded with the Evo. But yeah, I gotta glue in my guide rods. I think they're slipping around. And that's it. That's all for the video. Thanks for watching.